And we're back on Out and About today, diving into some of the highlights in queer cinema. Let's talk Harry Styles and My Policeman. A lot of buzz about this. Of course, the subject matter, it's very serious, but also that Harry Styles is playing this, and he doesn't have a lot of acting on his resume. I mean, as popular of a performer as he is, were you surprised they cast him in the lead role?
I don't know if I was surprised because I'm not as up to date on things, but I think it's fabulous if you can get more eyes on this kind of storyline. We're all about that, right?
Well, and people love to sort of guess about Harry's orientation or anyway.
Right?
Yes, I mean he's kind of all over the place. So I think it plays a little bit into that too, which was helpful.
Great 2 points, both of you. Okay, score. Excellent. Well, let's take a look at My Policeman, and then we'll talk more about it on the backside.
I pity people who don't know what it feels like to be this in love. Come with me, just you and I.
He's trying to destroy our marriage.
No hiding, no lies.
You know nothing about being married to Stop telling me what I'm supposed to think about it.
He was always in your life, in our lives.
All right, so this is set in 1950s Brighton, England, and it's that unfortunate old tale. It's based on a best-selling novel of, you know, the couple that's married in 1950s and the times and the social wares at the time. And then he falls for, he's a museum curator, falls for a policeman who is played by Harry Styles, married. So Pam, tell me your impressions on My Policeman.
I did see this one. We watched it, and it is really heavy. You've just outlined a story that's heavy, but it's very good. It makes you happy that you. I was not an adult in the 50s as a lesbian. It's challenging, but it's worth the watch. But it's hard. It's very hard.
No, I would echo that. I've had to watch it in pieces. I'm not even finished with it yet. I kind of started it and it got a little heavy for that reason. Harry, I was interested in, but it spoke to me in that I'm a big Anglophile anyway, so anything set in England, and it also reminds you of not just here, but even how hard it was there with the class system and the structure, and just sort of a relief that, my gosh, I didn't have to live through that, but others did, and aren't we a little bit luckier maybe than we realize?
Right. And you know, one of the things that struck me about the film, and this is one of those things I've always had a hard time with, but the fact that at one point the David Dawson character, that he's the married character, is that he tells his wife, he said, "I'm so sorry I betrayed you." And I've always felt like, well, society betrayed the queer community, because it was like men didn't want to get married in those days if they were gay, but they felt like they had to. And I know it was very hard on the wife, but to me it was something that they kind of forced upon society in those days, and this is something that they deal with in that.
Yeah, especially when your society is based in large part on that structure of marriage and class and function, and you know that you're gay, but you know you have to get married. I mean, that was a storyline in Bridgerton, for goodness sake.
Right? Yeah. All right, so let's talk about something that's a little more uplifting, even though that movie, it's very, very good. I will give it props, My Policeman. This is a movie that was historic, but that might have been part of its problem, because the promotion for this movie, and you know the marketing people said, make sure everybody knows that this is the first gay rom-com backed by a major studio to hit movie theaters. And of course, we're talking about Bros, came out in September. I adored this movie.
Me too.
I love this movie. So let's take a look at Bros right now, and we'll talk more on the backside.
Oh my God, that's Aaron. He's very hot. Gay guys are so stupid.
I know. But we've been smart enough to brand ourselves as being smart.
It's our little secret.
You met a guy?
I don't think I'm his type. He's like gay Tom Brady. What are you into? One of these ripped idiots with no opinions?
No, I'd like someone who's physically very frail and won't stop talking.
And I bet he's as intimidated by you as you are by him.
I'm down for whatever. Yeah, I can do whenever and I can do whatever.
Cool. Whatever, whenever. GIF of Michael Scott dancing.
Office GIF? This person isn't gay.
I need you to be honest with me. You like these rowy, meathead idiots. Oh, look, they're fighting. You like that? Hey. I can be tough like your boys. Like oh, that's what you like, huh?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, that's cool. My bad. Happy Pride. Happy Pride. Now I have to go to a pride party and you're both
too old to be in the pool.
I've been there, unfortunately. Dang it, for quite a few years now. Okay,
I love that.
so 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, A+ cinema score, but at the box office didn't perform as well as they were hoping. Thoughts?
Well, I haven't seen it. It looks great. I feel some nostalgia in some of those scenes with big friends hanging out, and people don't go to the movies as much, though. Could that be part of it?
Part of it, possibly,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not big stars, like they said. George Clooney and Julia Roberts got people back in the theaters for their rom-com, but these are not George Clooney and Julia Roberts yet.
No, you're right, and I think you mentioned earlier, we were talking about this before taping, about sometimes there was too much hype, you know? It's like we're building it, and people are like, oh my gosh, I don't know, I can't see it. There's too much expectation.
Right.
But then later on, it does well, sort of like a cult classic. I feel like this is going to fall in that category.
I think it will.
We're going to love it for years.
Yeah, video on demand. Once they released it, video on demand, they said it was one of the top for the week that it came out. It was the #1 video on demand release. Also, I think when we were talking about the way that the marketing developed, when they kept saying it, it was almost, people felt like it was almost an obligation to go because it's historic. You've got to go. You know, gays supported straight rom-coms for years now. Make sure you go support the gays, but people don't want to feel obligated to see something. They want to go because they want to go.
Is there any sense of maybe some folks would feel more comfortable watching it at home? They don't want to be seen watching it? Do we still have a little bit of that out there?
Might be.
You know what I mean?
And especially this one. I mean, it's very...
Right. Like, I really want to see
good
that.
and raunchy. I would say that. Yeah.
What's it rated?
R. And it's a hard R. Yeah. So I would say that. Yeah. I mean,
that could be it.
Yeah. So Judd Apatow, who made all the raunchy gay rom-coms, is the producer of this. So, yeah. All right, so let's talk. We've only got about a minute and a half left, I think. But we lost our friend Leslie Jordan. He was a friend of the show. He was a friend of the world, though. You know, he's been on our show. We love Leslie. Kind of give me your thoughts on that.
It's so sad because we were all surprised, right?
Yeah.
And he was on the show. He was a uniter. Everybody loved him. You see it in the tributes. All kinds of people spoke out in
He was at
despair.
Pride last year.
He was at Pride.
He was our Grand Marshal.
He was our Grand Marshal. Yeah.
It's very sad. He will be missed.
He will.
And it was sort of at the peak of his career. You know, we've all known him, our community's known him, at least since Sordid Lives in the early aughts, right? But he really went worldwide. The pandemic kind of brought him out. And,
with his Instagram posts,
and so he was at his peak. And then to have it happen in such a sort of a dramatic way, even behind the wheel, it felt like he just didn't get his due.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough, but, you know, he did bring so much joy. We said earlier, he was like the Dolly Parton, you know, for now, and he would have loved that.
Yeah, I saw an interview where that's how he said he wanted to be remembered, as a Dolly Parton type.
Yeah. He never met anybody that he didn't make feel comfortable, and that he'd known him for years, that you were best friends, and everybody would say that about him as well.
Well, and you're hard-pressed to find anybody who can cross so many genres. I mean, he's one of the few things that everybody likes, in a sense, you know?
So, I think I'm going to doing all kind of YouTube searches. It's just fun to see. So, guys, happy holidays. This was fun.
Same to you, too. Thanks for the recommendations.
Well, that's all the time for this edition of Out and About today. Pam, Brent, and I will be looking ahead to 2023 next time. Until then, big, sweet, happy holidays.